Well, good morning. My name's Sam Watson, and it's good to be here with Brian Toller this morning here at the Capitol just to talk about a few issues that we're dealing with this session. And the first thing I want to talk about is the House Rural Development Council that we're going to get kicked off again for another 2 years. We've been working as a council now for 4 years, and we've had a lot of great things come out of that council as far as rural Georgia goes. Obviously, we've had a lot of issues over the years, but I tell you, I've never been a part of a committee or any kind of organization like the Rural Development Council that I've actually seen the benefits of what we've done. Even when you go to looking at the broadband issues across our state, we've now, because of the Rural Development Council, we've had 3 major announcements of broadband expansion and partnerships with our local EMCs in South Georgia, in Middle Georgia, and even in North Georgia. And you know, my big thing there is if we can improve that quality of life in rural Georgia, then we're gonna have people that wanna move to rural Georgia and build their homes there, build their businesses there, and they're gonna need a lot of the things that the turf grass industry provides, and material-wise and economic development-wise, we'll just be growing jobs and growing economies in rural Georgia. And so that's ultimately gonna be good for rural Georgia. And even now with COVID, you throw that into the mix and you've got people that are moving out of the more populated areas of our state, and they're finding out that they can work from home and do different things and have diversity there. So I think that's only going to help us as we move forward. So, but it's been great to work and travel the state. You know, a lot of the things we find out just when we go to local communities and we hear things from people, and we're able to bring that back to Atlanta or back to the agencies that you guys interact with and that our constituents interact with. We're able to fix just a lot of problems. To actually be a part of something 4 years ago, and then now here we are today. We had the largest broadband expansion announcement was just a few weeks ago, and so that's just one major topic that we've kind of been focusing on, because that's where we've seen the greatest benefit. But I know we have a lot of other issues to work on. For me, being in the vegetable industry, we've still got this huge workforce industry, but I hear it from the manufacturing industry as well. You know, we have a shortage of workforce, and we're stealing workers from each other now. That makes it difficult. Obviously, healthcare is still an issue that hits everybody's pocketbook. We've done a lot on that again as well, and some of that stuff we're still kind of waiting to see the benefits. You know, we knew when we started that none of this stuff was going to happen overnight. The problems didn't happen overnight, and we're not going to solve them overnight. But we've got to just keep going down that path, and I think we'll eventually get there. Education is another one, especially with COVID. You know, when you go back to workforce, we've got kids that have been in the school system that may or may not have gotten the education that they need. Well, how good are they going to be when they graduate and they're in our communities? Are they going to be able to go to workforce? Are they going to be able to do the things that we need them to do? And how's that going to affect our economies across the state? We've still got a lot going on. It's going to be a different environment as we move through. Obviously, just still can't meet like we normally did and have, but I think we've got a lot of issues that we still need to work on. Folks like Brian that are up here or have always been a part of that process, and it's good to have their input so that we know what's on your guys' mind. But also got a few other bills that we're working on as well. We've had some local governments that have decided that entities, family farm entities that combine and come together to form one entity are no longer tax exempt when it becomes when we start talking about ad valorem. So in this particular case, this particular farm, they're being charged ad valorem on their equipment, on their livestock, and on the shelters that are on the property. And so, you know, they're still a family farm independently, but they've come together. You know, agriculture now and what we do is extremely capital intensive, and it's costing us more and more every year. And so a lot of times neighbors maybe are needing to partner up to do things or buy things, and as agriculture continues to grow and those type situations happen, they need to be able to do that and not have to worry about tax issues there, especially with what equipment costs. especially with what buildings and the things that we use in agriculture cost. We're working on that bill right now and trying to get it going and moving down the road, and I think it'll be beneficial for agriculture as it continues to change. And we've already done a lot of that. When you look at CUVA, we've made some changes there where family farms that are not related can come together and purchase land and still have that same benefit. And that's kind of the same philosophy. We're continuing to work on budget this week, and hopefully we'll get that on the floor and over to the Senate very soon. But other than that, just wanted to talk about the Rural Development Council, wanted to talk about 498. I've got several other tax and related bills out there, but may or may not necessarily be concerning to you guys, but just appreciate what y'all do from a turf grass industry standpoint, from an urban ag industry standpoint. As an agriculture industry, as one, we've got to all continue to work together because as this state continues to grow, we're becoming smaller and smaller as an industry, and so we've got to stick together and we've got to work together, and just would appreciate any input that you guys have as we move forward with this legislative session. Thank you for what you do, and just please give me a call, give Brian a call. He knows how to get a hold of me, and just thank y'all for what you do.